Hi, Nick.
Welcome on set.
Thank you.
Yes, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I know the last time I saw you, I can't really remember. I mean, glad to have you, on set. Basically, talk about what HMD is doing, and of course, your new plans. The year is coming to an end, so a lot of things to unpack.
Yeah.
Especially what you've been doing this year in Kenya, and of course, what we should expect from you, in the coming year. So, thank you so much for just granting us this interview.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nick. So it's my pleasure being here. I always look forward to catching up with you and to share the good news, what we're doing at HMD.
Oh, great. So, I mean, just to start us off, of course, probably a number of our readers don't know you. So maybe just start by introducing yourself and telling us, of course, who you are at HMD Global.
My name is Joseph Umunakwe. I'm General Manager for West, East, and Central Africa. My role is to drive the execution of HMD strategy within the WCA geography. And of course, to act as a bridge between the field and the corporate office to provide them insight what is happening on the field. I am proud to lead a team of very talented people based here in Nairobi, another office in Lagos, Nigeria. The Nairobi office basically looks after our East African markets, and the Lagos office takes care of the West African markets.
Oh, great. So Kenya is like your second home?
Absolutely, absolutely. I feel home. Anytime I come to Kenya, I come to Nairobi, I'm at home. Like I said, good environment, good food, good people.
Oh, great. So, I mean, of course, it's been a couple of years since, HMD Global entered the Kenyan market. Of course, we've seen you release a number of interesting products, around. So, I mean, since then and, where we are right now, just heading to the end of the year, how is this market like you, as a company?
I would say that Kenya is one of the best markets that we have in the WCA geography. Kenya is a focus market for us, very strategic. In this market, we have got very important partners, water partners like Safaricom, like Nkopa, like open distribution partners, and we are doing very well in Kenya. In all respects, across our segments, whether it is tablets, smartphones, or feature phones, we have seen absolutely very good progress, improvement in our sales, adoption, acquisition by customers. So yeah, it's been going very well in Kenya.
Oh, interesting. I mean, the consumer has really evolved, right now. I mean, as a smartphone consumer myself, I'm always asking for so much, right? Every year I want to see what new does, for example, HMD has to offer. And of course, HMD has ventured into the feature smartphone market. That's actually a very big deal for you. I mean, from where you're sitting right now, do you feel like you're really meeting the consumer needs, in the Kenyan market?
HMD Global, we are very passionate about creating value for people, like our consumers, value for our partners, and of course, value for our planet. We are driving one key area of importance that we think has been a very great area for our consumers in Kenya, and that is around device affordability. Device affordability is something that we have been driving for the past few years, and Kenya, one of the pilot markets for device affordability. Just to give you an example, we innovated in the area of lock solutions. So we developed the HMD lock solution, which is allowing device finance partners to come on board and provide financing to the market. So our customers in Kenya, who otherwise would not have been able to afford a $100 phone, they can today maybe deposit upfront $30 and then spread the balance over a period of 1 year or so. So by just that action alone, we have seen a lot of traction, a lot of consumers coming forward to adopt the Nokia phones in Kenya.
Okay, so would you say this is actually one of your key achievements, in the Kenyan market?
I would highlight two very important things in Kenyan market that we have done. One is that device affordability. And by the way, we have seen significant activation of our smart devices in this market. The second one will be the fact that we are so proud to say that we brought local assembly through our local partner, Nkopa, into Kenya. I mean, as I speak to you now, Kenya is the only market in sub-Saharan Africa where we have device assembly in the market, working collaboratively with our partner, Nkopa. We are also proud to share that as at now, we have more than 400,000 smartphones already assembled in Kenya.
Whoa, okay.
So yes, so we have done a lot, and we are really very happy about the progress we have made in Kenya. So those are really very big achievements that we have delivered, we have earned in Kenya.
All right. I like the local assembly bit, and I think just the other day we saw, of course, the government, also, unveiling another local assembly for manufacturing local smartphones as well. So maybe just take us through that. I mean, when did this start? Is it a recent thing, or it's been there for a while?
Well, it's been here for a while. That's why I mentioned the number 400,000 units. You can imagine that 400,000 units is not assembled in one day, it's not assembled in 1 month, right? So it's something we have quietly been working at the background with our partners in Copa. And yes, I had the news about the launch of the locally assembled devices by the government. I will say congratulations to His Excellency the President, his government, and of course the people of Kenya, because that clearly connects to also our strategy in terms of driving device affordability, bringing that technology, driving inclusiveness, right? One of the Millennium Development Goals is about inclusiveness, whether it is financial inclusiveness or digital inclusiveness. So that is pretty much in line with the strategy that HMD has and what we have been driving in the market in the past few years. Yes, we were working silently behind the scene with NCOPA, driving that initiative. And now we're at the point where we can proudly say that more than 400 devices have been assembled here. And we do have hundreds of thousands of customers, our customers in Kenya, who are now using devices that are assembled locally in Kenya by HMD partners. Yeah, whether it is Nokia C22 or Nokia C32 or Nokia C31, these devices, majority of them that are sold in Kenya, actually, proudly made in Kenya.
Yeah, actually, I've actually seen the Nokia C31. I think there's the assembled in Kenya brand splashed, just, on the back. And I think that's quite a very interesting route to take. And I think you spoke about strategy. I think one of the strategy, I've seen HMD Global really going big on is the feature market segment, right? You're very big on that as well. Just take us through that. I mean, how's the consumer reacting and responding to this?
Absolutely good. You see, we obsess about consumer experience. Consumer experience is super important to us. Consumers need to get value for their investment when they come and buy a Nokia device or HMD branded device for that matter. So we have seen very good adoption. We continue to expand our footprint. Like I said earlier on, we are focused on creating value. It's about value, lowering the point of entry, driving affordability. If we look at the feature phone segment, we have also now started to partner with a number of our local and international partners to push down the price, the entry price for those feature phones. And like you may know, we have very large base of feature phones in the market, 2G devices, right? And what we're doing with our device finance opportunity and platform is to migrate those consumers, right, from 2G to 3G to 4G to 5G as those become available in the country. And I'm happy to see that here in Kenya, we've also rolled out the 5G network. So we continue to innovate in such places where we drive availability, drive value for the consumer, enhance consumer experience.
Well, interesting. Maybe just, as we move from that, I mean, the year is coming to an end. We're almost getting to 2024. I think in the last couple of months, or let me say weeks, we've seen HMD announcing some quite interesting announcements, which of course including you taking your manufacturing to Europe. Absolutely. I mean, that's a very big thing, considering there was no large scale smartphone manufacturer in Europe. I mean, we're used to having so many just companies manufacturing their devices in Asia, and all that. What really pushed this move?
For us at HMD, it's about value creation. We create value for our partners, for people. One area that I just want to highlight is very important news that we shared some months ago, last month actually, that for the second year in a row, we won the Platinum Award. They provide this Platinum Award for sustainability. Okay, what that means is that we are within the top 1% of companies globally that are driving sustainability practices in manufacturing, processes in materials, and in our way of working as a company. Right, so that is quite important for us to highlight. Now, talking about the factory in Europe, we believe that we need to domesticate the business. We believe that we need to bring the business close to partners. That is why we have as assembly plant in Kenya. And then, of course, we have brought manufacturing back to Europe, right? Because we want to create value for the people. We want to create value for our partners. We want to create value for our partners. And that speaks to our overall framework, right, as HMD Global. So, yes, bringing the device manufacturing facility back to Europe is something that clearly shows that HMD Global is serious about driving value for the partners in that market, for our consumers, and of course, for our partners.
Okay. And I think one of the first devices you've seen coming out of Europe is the XL21, which, I've read about it.
Yeah, we actually have a limited edition that is rolling out from that factory.
Exactly. I was just reading about it actually this morning before, we came on set.
Yes.
I mean, are we going to see that come here as well? Because I actually like that phone. I would like to experience that.
Absolutely. I mean, the team here, we do some market research and analysis to look at what the demand profile will be like. And we can always bring the devices into the market. I mean, SR21, one of the devices I'm using, it's an amazing device, right? It's ruggedized.
Yeah.
And, I was using a different device at some point, and when it fell and the screen crashed, I said, okay, now it's SR21, right? So, again, talking about SR21 and our offering, we are not just a device company. We are an innovative company. Innovating in devices, hardware, also innovating in services. Okay, that is quite important for us to highlight. We do have services, and I want to call out two immediately. One being our enterprise device management platform, enterprise mobility device management platform. So we have that platform where we call it HMD Enable Pro. We are companies, B2B, large corporations. They can enroll their devices and manage them remotely. Manage the access, control, the security, and all of that. And security is something we also there. That is why we have monthly security update. We promise on all our devices, on all our smartphones, monthly security update for 3 years. Because we are aware that there could be vulnerabilities in the internet, right? There are a lot of things going on in the internet, social media, and when you use your phones, there could be vulnerabilities. So we work with our partners to fix those vulnerabilities. Security is really very much important to us. The next one I want to highlight there is privacy. Because privacy, again, is becoming something that is center stage, right, in the technology space, right? Privacy of personal data, information, etc. That's why we have our data center in Finland, right? And that is something that gives our consumers rest of mind because we comply with the highest level of European standards around privacy.
Oh, interesting. So maybe just let me switch back to, I think one of the really questions I always get from my readers and people actually watch our content is, of course, around the pricing of HMD Global devices. I mean, do you get this kind of questions from customers?
Pricing of our devices?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you look at what we have done in several geographies and across the past few months, we have focused very much on value. And that value is not just about the price. Remember, what we have seen in the industry, I can say, is like commoditization of technology, of hardware, right? So we are differentiating. We are bringing something fresh. We are bringing devices that are aspirational, right? So that we see our consumers, the millennials, the Gen Z, at every level, people are aspiring to own a Nokia device, right? So we are not just looking at price in terms of shilling or dollar. We're looking at the value that we bring in that device, right? And that is why we see our device finance partners are comfortable financing the Nokia devices. And here is the differentiator, okay? And with due respect to competition, we are proud to say that when a device finance partner finances our device, that device is an asset. Even if the payment period is 1 year, that device finance partner can be sure that that device will outlast the payment period. Okay? So that is something that we hold so dear. So we cannot look at price in isolation, look at cost in isolation. That's the message we pass to our consumers. Because even after device financing a particular skill, a particular product for 1 year, consumers can pass that device across to maybe their siblings, their family members, or trade that in for a higher model of the device, right? So it's about value, right? Not necessarily price in terms of shilling.
Okay, so about value, I think that's a very important, bit, and maybe just, as we almost come to an end. Of course, 2024 is here. Of course, my assumption is we're not going to see any new releases between now and, of course, in December, because I mean it's just a month to, before the year ends, a month or two.
Yeah.
Of course, 24 coming. What new things should we expect to see from you?
Like I said, it's always good news from HMD Global. I can tell you that, right? So recently we announced our multi-brand strategy.
Yeah.
We announced that we are going to become a multi-brand company, which means that beyond our current portfolio and brand, we will be introducing HMD original brand in the market, right? So what does that mean? It means that we are going to have an enriched portfolio. Okay, starting from anytime soon, right? I'm not going to, right? I don't have any specific thing to share at this time, but we can always look forward to HMD branded devices coming onto the market in a short while. And I think that's something very exciting. Internally, all of us are excited about it. Our consumers are excited about it. I have been sharing that good news with a number of our partners in the markets, and across the geographies, and the response has been phenomenal. Because when we own our brand and bring that original HMD brand to market, we have a lot more room to innovate, right? Innovate in terms of pricing, in terms of quality, in terms of the solutions that we bring, in terms of value that we create, right? So we are looking forward, and consumers should look forward to the original HMD brand coming to market. So,
all right, just still on that, how are you going to ensure that trust for the consumer not consumed? I mean, they were used to seeing the Nokia, of course, devices. Now, how do you retain that trust, among consumers? Because I'm sure that question is going to come up. I mean, okay, there's of course then. So, are you going to still keep the Nokia devices and have, of course, the HMD branded devices? Those are two different. How do you create that trust for the consumer?
It's two different branches of the same tree, right? So those brands are all part of the same HMD. Exactly. So yeah, there is no difference between branch A and branch B, but it's important for us to know that it's the same quality, right? We will even innovate more because it provides opportunity on the platform to innovate more, bring something unique to the consumers. Like I said earlier on, our brand is an aspirational brand. Consumers aspire to come onto our ecosystem, to come onto our brand, and we will continue to innovate, to deliver unique experiences to customers.
All right. Thank you so much, Joseph. Anything you want to close?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, I think it's a pleasure being here. I'm excited about the future, and I know that the consumers in Kenya are going to see more and more coming from HMD.
All right. Thank you so much, Joseph.
Thank you very much, Nick.
I hope to see you when you come back.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Back soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.